Okay, so we learned how to interpret the dot plots, and now we're going to learn a little more. We're going to learn how to describe the center and spread of dot plots. So you can describe a set of data using measures of center, and we'll figure out what that means a little later. As well as measures of spread. The range of the data and any outliers are also useful in describing the data, and we learned how to find the range and outliers yesterday. But just to recap, range is when you subtract the smallest value from the largest value. And our outliers is a value that lies outside the set of numbers. It is much smaller or much larger than the set of numbers. And we are going to practice that today as well. So number 3 is a dot plot that shows the prices of cowboy hats. So you notice that it has a title. It tells you what's going on here, and then it has our dots. Okay, so we're going to determine the median and mode of the data, then describe the center of the data distribution using them. Okay, so median, we can look at our dot plot, and if you notice, we already have the median number circled right here. But I think it's best to write out the dots in order from least to greatest. So our first two numbers are 30 and 30. I would like you to press pause and write out all the numbers and then press play when you are finished. So these two numbers are circled in the dot plot because you can look at here and cross out the dots, but it makes it extremely messy by doing that. So it's best to write out the numbers. That way you make sure that there's no mistakes. It also becomes a little confusing if you do not write out all of the numbers. So we have our numbers and our median. So at this time, I would like you to find the median and the mode of this dot plot data for the prices of cowboys. When you have finished, please press play, and then we'll learn about the center and data. Okay, for the median, you should have had to find the mean of 40 and 45. Your median is 40 plus 45 over 2, which gives you 85 divided by 2, and when you do that, you get a remainder of 42 and a remainder of 1, which gives us 42 and a half. Our mode is 50. That's the number that was said most. So our center of data is explaining the meaning of median, meaning of mode. Okay, so the mode is 50. What does it mean to have a mode of 50? That means that more cowboy hats cost $50 than any other price. Okay, so then also we have median. The median was $42.50, which means half the prices are more than $42.50 and half are less than. So because the median is the middle, we can tell where is half the money at, okay, and what is half is less than and half is more than. That's what median's describing. So let's practice this again with example number 4. Example number 4 says to use the data from number 3 to determine the range and any outliers of the data. Then describe the spread of data distribution using them. So our range. We learned about range 2 days ago, and we've been working on that for the past 2 days. Our range of the data prices is the biggest number subtracted by the smallest number. So that means that 75 subtracted by 30. And that range equals $45, and it's money because we're talking about the price of cowboy hats here. And then we need to know the limits for the outliers. Okay, limits for the outliers means that we got to do a few things for us. We've got to find our Q1 and our Q3, our IQR, and then go from there. So our Q1 and Q3 and IQR, I would like you to solve for, and then we will go from there once you are finished. So please press play, and then please press pause, and then press play when you feel that you have Q1, Q3, and your IQR. Okay, so for your Q1, you should have had to find the average of 35 and 35, and that gave you a Q1 of 35. For your Q3, you should have had to find the mean of 50 and 50, which gave you a Q3 of 50. For your IQR, that is 50 minus 35, which gives you an IQR of 15. So now we have to take our IQR and multiply that times 1.5. So I would like you off to the side to multiply 15 times 1.5. Press play when you have finished that. Okay, you should have gotten 22.5 when multiplying the IQR times 1.5. So now to find our lower limit, remember that we need to subtract our Q1, which is 35, minus what we got when we multiplied our IQR times 1.5, which was 22.5. And when we subtract that, we are going to have to borrow, and that gives us 12.5. So the limits for the outliers are 12.5 for the lower limit, and then for the upper limit, we have to take Q3, which is 50, and add 22.5, which gives us 72.5. That means that, and this is money, so that's $72.50 is our upper limit. Okay, so we have to look and see, are there any numbers below $12.50 and any numbers above $72.50? And those would be our outliers. So if we're looking at this, we do have numbers that are less. So the outlier is $75. And our spread of data is explaining that, and it tells us that most prices are much less than $75, but no less than, let's look at our lowest number, which is $30. Okay, so most of this should have been a review other than our spread of data. And spread of data is just telling you what that outlier means in reference to our data. So let's move on to number 5. Number 5, I would like you to read, and I would like you to find the median and mode and try the center of data. When you are finished writing those out, I would like you to press play, and we will check your answers, and then we will move on. Okay, so for your median and your mode, you should have gotten 20. Remember that it's important to rewrite the numbers and list from least to greatest. For your median, you needed to add 20 plus 20 and divide that by 2, which gave you 20 again. Your mode, if you look at your dot plot, you can see that the most response answer was 20. Center of data, that's going to be telling us what's going on. What do these two mean? And it means, our median means that half the student council sold less than 20 magazines and half sold more than 20 magazines. And our mode tells us that more members sold 20 magazines than any other amount. Okay, so and now I would like you to do your range, your outliers, and your spread of data. Here I'm going to have you complete on your own, and then you will check with your table group tomorrow to make sure that you did everything correctly. Please refer to number 4 to assist you on these 3 problems.